Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a case study video where I'm going to be breaking down a larger ad account that we manage. If you're new to the channel, my name is Joshua Dayrit. I'm the owner of Ignite PPC. We scale real estate investors with inbound marketing to six figures per month or higher. We've taken guys all the way to 500 grand per month with our systems. So again, in this video, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to break down pretty much how they have the account structured, what we're running for them, ultimately how we have scaled this account over time. And yeah, we'll just break everything down for you guys. So it's March 2026. I'm just going to show the previous month. I'll go back some. Actually, I might go back to the beginning of the year, just give you an idea of how they've scaled. So you can see this month, this doesn't include phone calls for us. So they have 493 leads. They probably have around 520 total leads if we can count the phone calls. So we primarily optimize for forms. But you can see here in the month of March, they've spent $66,995 at a cost per lead, not including the phone calls, of $136 a lead, right? So really good results for this team. They are a virtual team that is doing about 15 states with exclusions, very targeted on the states. And we've had some really good success working with this team over the last, we've been working with them for about 2 years now. So they absolutely kill it on the sales side. But let me show you how we, have the account structured, so that way you guys can see exactly kind of how we are getting to this 136 number and how everything's broken down. Okay, so here is the individual campaign view, right? We can see, again, they've spent just under $67,000 for the month of March. And if we scroll to the right here, well, actually, let me start here on the left. All these campaigns with the little magnifying glass, these are search campaigns. So these are PPC search campaigns. Typically, when we scale campaigns, or when we scale accounts, we're going to allocate 70 to 80% of the budget towards search, and then the remaining 20% of the ad account to performance max, demand gen, YouTube, all that good stuff, right? So you'll see here on the right-hand side that for search, our cost per leads are anywhere between $110 all the way up to $246. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. We run a few variations of search campaigns. Some are that are higher intent, some that are a little bit lower intent. Ultimately, we've tracked all this over a long period of time, so we know what's working best for them, what's not working best for them. These are all running all the same locations, though, right? So the only difference between like this one, for example, and this one is that we're targeting different types of keywords, different match types, stuff like that, right? So this is going to be on the search side of it. On the demand gen and YouTube side of it, you can see we're getting leads between $62 to $77 here. These are really solid. They're once dialing in super consistent, so you can expect some, pretty decent lead flow even on a small budget, right? You spend $3,000 here, you're still getting 47 leads over a month. This can be really good for filling in some of your lead flow gaps. So part of the reason why we like to do, 70, 80% on search and then 20 to 30% on, PMax YouTube is because search it's a very great channel. However, it tends to be a little fluctuative. So like there can be a day where, let's say you're trying to get 10 leads a day. The next day you might have 5, right? And then the next day after that, you'll have 10, and then you go back down to 5, and then you go to 15, and then you go to 5. And it just tends to be a little bit higher on the swings. So we always like to fill lead flow gaps with cheaper, but still quality leads, and that would be YouTube leads. The YouTube leads are, obviously not on, going to Google and typing in someone's house fast, but we target audiences that are ultimately going to Google and typing that stuff in, right? So these audiences are in-market audiences. We know for a fact that they're still looking for our solution. Performance Max, we use this for retargeting. So we don't really do it for top of funnel cold lead gen, but this is to retarget the YouTube ads, to retarget the search ads, everything there. And the purpose of this is that it really will blend that lead cost down, fill lead flow gaps, and the conversion on these are still really good compared to like Facebook ads or PPL. I mean, on the YouTube leads, teams will do 1 in 15 to 1 out of 20, and then on search, like this team is 1 in 10, 1 in 12 consistently, right? So these guys absolutely crush it. You can see here just kind of total breakdown, blended cost per each campaign or type. So search campaigns, about 170 bucks a lead. Demand gen, which these are YouTube, 67, and the performance max, $51 a lead, right? So these guys we absolutely crush for. If you run a high volume, acquisition team, right? Let's say you're maybe doing PPL or you're doing outbound, or maybe you're already running PPC, but whoever you're working with is not working out. We will build you a full custom roadmap where I'll sit down with you and I'll break down exactly how much you need to spend per rep, what channels you need to spend on, what percentage we need to allocate to PPC versus YouTube versus so on. And we'll all align that with the exit strategy that your business needs and is calling for the return on ad spend to make sense, right? So all you got to do is book a call below in the link. It's no obligation. It's totally free. Best case scenario, obviously we work together and we crush it for you guys. Worst case scenario, you get full insight on what we can do for your business and a plan on the marketing side on what's actually happening in 2026, right? These guys, just to kind of finish up on what I'm saying about them, they're primarily doing novations and wholesale deals. So I'd say they're like 65, 70% novations and about 30, 35% wholesale deals. I will also show you just kind of beginning, from January to this month, so you can see how they've scaled and how things have progressed for them. Okay, so this is year to date, and you can see here that they've spent a total of $193,114 since January 1st. So about, we'll call it almost 200 grand in Q1. And through Q1, they have generated a total of, without phone calls, 1,467 leads at a average CPL of 132 a lead. So pretty in line with where we're at for the month of March. And you can see that, these individual campaigns, they all have their own individual spends, all that good stuff. But ultimately that this is consistent, right? So you can see here that, the CPL is, the cost per lead and, everything over like a quarter is not fluctuating like crazy. So it's not like, oh, hey, 1 month they, went from, call it, 130 to 170 and then down to 95, then up to 200. Once we get your ad account dialed in here and things are really functioning, then, it's, we're really focused on just your conversion and making sure that, hey, we're allocating every single ad dollar possible into the campaigns that are only generating you revenue. So obviously, like when we work with somebody, we're never going and saying, hey, let's put, ad dollars and stuff that's not working. But if we ever identify any part of your account where it's like, hey, there is an optimization we can make here because we're seeing this as a little bit of fat in the account, a little bit of waste, let's cut that and force the ad spend towards stuff that is working, right? So these guys are crushing it. If you're a high level operator and you want results like this, if you're ready to, scale like crazy, book a call below. Happy to sit down with you and show you exactly what it takes to build this out in your business. See you in the next one.